Love, hate, and understanding, the many fraught passions of myself as a book nerd and why I would like to see them reflected back to me on BookTube. There's just recently been a little bit of a discussion. We always get these little bit of a discussions. I think started off by Owen at Toasty Towns about why do people hate popular books, and it was very much a video about kind of performative hate on certain booktube channels of hating on a popular book for kind of fun, for entertainment value, and how he Owen did not find that particularly entertaining or fun at all. And Steve Donahue doing a response video about what good or negative reviews, very much coming from a book critic uh, point of view, published professional book critic, about why he thinks that negative reviews are indeed a very useful part, very essential part of book culture in general, and how especially within the professional book reviewing business, that can actually be that's kind of a hard thing to kind of find sometimes. There's just a lot of pressures to just pass over in silence books we don't like, and indeed we get that sort of same impetus on BookTube. And so, I am simply somebody who really enjoys BookTube, so I'd like to just like chime in with my thoughts on talking about books on BookTube, because while I agree with Owen that performatively negative reviews where someone just talks about a book, reciting the plot of a book kind of very sarcastically, really, or talking about like these are no goes. I will never read a book that has this kind of a trope or this kind of a scenario in it. I find those reviews, uh, those videos, pretty just. I don't watch them. I don't find them. I don't find them entertaining. B, I just don't find them useful. They feel very close-minded to me. Very incurious about the books that they're talking about. So there's that. Um, but I have also seen people reactions to like when I've given reviews of books that I did not like, and I listed out the reasons why I did not like them. I tried to engage with the book, and I've seen others do this as well, where it's just like this book did not work for me, and these are the reasons. And this isn't somebody who is like attacking an author or impugning the character of an author. This is like trying to really address the book and getting getting negative reaction back to that. And a part of that, I think, is there's a certain kind of a what feels to me like a fan culture where viewing BookTube as merely a celebration of what's great about books. And while I think that is a really vital part of BookTube, that when you find a book that's like, I am so excited and I want to give this to everyone. I want everyone to read this book because I thought it was amazing. And you can kind of get a hold of yourself enough to kind of like boil that down into what things really like, whether it's the language, it's the characters, it's the plot, whatever about this book, it's the subject matter, whatever about it is that excited you, and you can communicate that. I think that is really valuable. But I also think when you encounter a book that you like, this book grated against me, I found this book irksome, this book angered me. I also want to hear about that. And sometimes what you learn about in that review, listening to someone review a book that way, is you learn. Hopefully, you learn about the book, and you also learn about the person, which I think comes to kind of the unique thing of BookTube, where when you have professional reviewers, they appear in organs of the L.A. Times, New York Times, the Christian Science Monitor, to name a few. You get sort of a review, but you're not getting so much. You're not so much getting the personality of the person, which I think is that's more formally what a review is about. But when you get on BookTube, you're coming in contact with people. For the most part, you'll at least hear their voice. Oftentimes you will get to see their face and a little bit of their surroundings. Um, it's not formal. You often hear about their likes, dislikes, their life, where they're situated from. You get to find out really about who's talking about this book. And it's building, not you're not getting a documentary about me 24/7 when you click on one of my videos, but you're getting a little slice and you're getting kind of an indication of, okay, this is Jay, this is what he likes. And I think a part of that portrait, that I find very valuable when I tune into another booktuber is, yes, they really like these books, but also, you know, they're indifferent to these books and they really dislike these books, and they tell you why. They don't just say this book sucked. They say, I hated the way that this kind of a character was depicted. I hated that they relied on this narrative trick. You get to know them, and you get to know what really bothers them. There's one reviewer who hates, I know, who just really hates cringe humor, humiliation humor. Um, it really activates it you can see that it just physically just discomforts them, in a way that is unique to that person. And I come to reviews, on booktube, for you, for that particular booktuber, and to only hear about, you know the great stuff that really lit them up, and not to get to hear about, the stuff that left them cold, or the stuff that they really bothered them, is to kind of cut off that picture. You're only getting happy, sunshiny face, which, I mean, there is that thing of, this is a social media platform, and it's that thing of, like, on other side, on other, probably on this platform too, you get people showing their best face forward. It's smiling, it's well lit, my hair is perfect, I've done my makeup. It's like, it's your best face forward. But we all know that that's not that's not them waking up at 5 in the morning feeling grouchy that day. That is a part of them, but that, we know that that's kind of like, that's the front that gets put forward, the fancy face that gets put forward, but it's not really giving you the full portrait of the person. And I would argue that only giving the bright, happy, sunshiny, these are all the books I love, and not giving people, the full gamut of what you've read, is to kind of put forward what's, less genuine. It's so carefully edited, it becomes a lie. I don't mean to call people who are only talk about the positive things liars, but it's like, it gives it incomplete. It gives an incomplete thing. I take back liar. That's a very harsh, judgmental thing, which, I can be very harsh and judgmental about stuff. So I guess that's true to myself. But I really appreciate it. I feel honored when, people will tell me about the full gamut of their reading. They'll share that. I mean, and you know what? Some people, I have to respect. They're not comfortable sharing that with me. And you know what? That is your choice. That is definitely your choice. This is not me. I see now. I probably was prescriptive back there, but then, I listen to myself as I talk, and it's like, you know, I don't. Being prescriptive is another way of being an asshole. So telling people to choke down their own feelings and their own comfortability. But I'm just going to say what appeals to me, what will bring me in further as a viewer. What I would like. It doesn't. But if you don't choose to provide that, that's fine. I just go. I'll just go elsewhere, and that's not like a threat or like unsubscribe. It just means I'm probably not going to have as much of a connection to you, as somebody who makes videos, which, that is fine. That is fine. You know what? I have to say that the people who can talk about books 24/7 in a positive way, and can make that seem not samey and not just like, well, they like everything. The people who can pull that off, that can kind of zero in on like why you should read this book. That is great. I just have to say, in my own, preference of my own way of reading, which is to kind of niggle at things, to kind of pull things apart, to kind of try and question things, to try and examine, well, why did it make me feel this way? Why am I upset about this? I appreciate seeing that in others. So maybe this is an incredibly narcissistic video. Maybe this is an incredibly narcissistic video. It's like, I want more people to be like me. But maybe it's also me just trying to turning on the camera and realizing, okay, this is what I like, and this is how I like to talk, and I want to see that in others, which isn't necessarily the best thing. I can see the negatives. I do stand by, there's a certain thing of always having the bright, shiny face, always being in perfect makeup kind of mode of just like, oh, everything is great, everything is sunshiny. It just doesn't appeal to me. It may appeal to more people out there. I don't know. Well, I probably just wandered all around and around like that. I'm interested in contrary reviews, so if you've got them, please share. You probably have shared other places already, so I'll leave it there. More videos later.